So maybe I would like to submit to the honourable member, was it Zafar Islam, and also one of the member who just asked, GVL Narasimha Rao, and followed from there it was honourable member Zafar Islam. So there isn't any such. But however, at the branch level, banks do exert a certain level of discretion based on the available KYC. There is no checklist of, oh no loans for these people. There's no such thing like that. I want them to be informed of it.
Thank you. Mani V. Vijay Sai Reddy.
Sir, is it true that there has been a consistent rise in non-performing assets insofar as non-banking financial companies are concerned, and also housing finance companies? If so, I would like to know from the Minister what steps that are being taken to reduce the non-performing assets in respect of these housing companies and NBFCs to protect the interest of the depositors as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, I would like to certainly respond, but I don't want to be a stickler. But the question doesn't pertain to non-performing assets in banks. We are more talking about interest rates, housing banks, why there is a difference between the interest rate charged by the housing banks as opposed to the public sector banks, which can also give home loans. So this is a totally out of the... Sorry.
Thank you. Now question number 19, 23 and 30, they are of similar nature on cryptocurrency. So question number 19, Dr. K. Keshav Rao. नहीं बैठे माननीय मंत्री जी आप क्वेश्चन नंबर 23 माननीय नीरज शेखर जी माननीय मंत्री जी एक विवरण सभापति पर रख दीजिए थैंक यू क्वेश्चन नंबर 30 माननीय सुशील कुमार मोदी जी
सप्लीमेंट्री
सर पहले लेटेस्ट
विवरण सभापटल पर रख दीजिए
थैंक यू नाउ आ रहे हैं एक एक करके आ रहे हैं तीनों ये सिमिलर नेचर क्वेश्चन है पहले हम ले रहे हैं ऑन 19 माननीय स्वप्न दास गुप्ता जी
So thank you. So I've seen the answers to all the three relevant questions on cryptocurrency. So there are two ways of ensuring security. One is to control an environment, and the other is to shut yourself in a sealed room. I guess the second pearl would be foolproof, but will that be very effective? The question here is, cryptocurrency is extremely popular with youngsters today. And they've been very unnerved by these latest speculation over it. The question which I want to ask is, will an outright ban be desirable? We still await the legislation which Nirmala ji will propose. But will an outright ban be preferable, or will it be far better to regulate it? Because we don't know how the cryptocurrency is moving in future. It's still very much work in progress. And therefore, will it be better to influence the course of the cryptocurrency development by being within the system through a process of regulation, as has been done by certain countries? I think Germany is probably one of them which has done that. It's really the question of which is the most preferable option to exercise without losing track of the larger questions of hot money, security, etc., and legality. Thank you.
Thank you, Swapnas.
So this is a fairly interesting time to have this debate, particularly in the House. And I quite recognize Member Swapna Das Gupta saying there will be a bill coming, but yet will it be a regulation or will it be a prohibition, indicating that a prohibition may not be ideal, and also indicating that this whole area is a dynamic area and so on. So keeping the propriety of the House, particularly as the session is ongoing, and the fact that we've answered saying there is a bill being proposed sooner rather than later, any answer I would give now will preempt the discussion, which I'm sure Sopanji will also participate, when the Treasury benches, when the government comes with the bill, with all its nuances, and the discussion can, of course, cover all these aspects.
Thank you.
So would kindly permit me to
Yes,
not go beyond this.
Thank you. Dr. Narendra Jadhav ji, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Deputy Chairman, sir. Sir, there are misleading advertisements regarding the potential of making big profits by investing in private cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Younger generation is increasingly finding them more and more tempting. Sir, private cryptocurrencies are being used for money laundering, terrorism financing, and even drug trafficking. Pending the passage of the bill, which is expected to ban private currencies, private cryptocurrencies, my supplementary question is there any plan from the government to create awareness about the ill effects of private cryptocurrencies out there? Because unless we create awareness, whatever happens to the bill will be seen. That will happen in future. But in the interregnum, given the fact that younger generation is being persuaded by the ads, I think there should be a campaign on part of the government to explain the ill effects of cryptocurrency.
It's a suggestion I think Honorable Finance Minister will keep in her mind.
Thank you.
Thank you. Manni Amar Patnaik ji.
Thank you, sir. So from the answer, it is very clear that there will be a bill on cryptocurrency and regulation of official digital currency for introduction in Lok Sabha, and as Honorable Finance Minister said, we should wait for the bill. But the fact is that the report which has been mentioned in the answer, this interministerial committee was set up on 2nd November 2017. It gave its report in February 2019. The context and the growth of cryptocurrency took place actually in the last 3 years, which has increased about 10 times. So this report's relevance may not be there as much. The question of banning, whether to ban or not to ban, what kind of asset class of cryptocurrency to be banned, I will wait for the bill. But the fact remains, even if you want to ban, the regulatory capacity should be there to observe that particular, to monitor that ban. What are we doing to improve the regulatory capacity of RBI or SEBI for different kind of private or government CBDCs? That is, thank you so much.
I think this all will be covered under bill, so Mani Mantri.
No, regulatory capacity
I'm
is
not
not covered.
seeking cover to say everything is in the bill or everything may or may not be covered in the bill.
Right.
However, the issues pertaining to regulatory capacities and also the fact that it is proliferated in the last 2-3 years are well taken note of, and I can only go that far to say we've had extensive discussions on this. So I would request the honourable member to kindly wait to see what is going in the bill.
Thank you. Mani Neeraj Shekhar ji.
सर, जैसा कि सब लोग कह रहे हैं कि बिल आने वाला है, लेकिन बिल आने से पहले, क्योंकि एक क्रिप्टो करेंसी है बिटकॉइन, जो शुरू हुई थी $1 से आज $60,000 उसका मूल्य है, तो इससे मैं मानता हूं कि एक अनुमान जो लगाया गया भारत देश में कि करोड़ों लोगों ने इसमें निवेश किया है, इसमें पैसा अपना लगाया है और लाखों करोड़ रुपए उसमें चले गए हैं। क्या भारत सरकार उन लोगों को बताने की कोशिश कर रही है कि ये अभी सुरक्षित नहीं है, ऐसा पैसा लगा रहे हैं जो आगे उनका नुकसान हो सकता है? हमारा वित्त मंत्रालय इसमें कुछ, जब तक बिल नहीं आता तब तक समझाने की कोशिश कर सकता है ऐसे पैसों में निवेश ना करें, तो इसमें कुछ कर रहे हैं वित्त मंत्रालय?
Sir, Honourable Member Neeraj Shekhar ji and also for that matter the member from Odisha, Amar Patnaik ji, had both raised this question. Yes, the bill will come all right. But till then, definitely attempts, and I'm sure also economist Narendra Jadhav ji also mentioned that, through the SEBI, through the RBI, and through once, I think, Government of India, there have been statements issued and also fairly awareness building attempt has been made to say that this is a risky area and people who are going in there be conscious as to what you're doing, and also said that this is an area yet not in complete regulatory framework. So I'm sure the House remembers that when nearly 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, when Reserve Bank of India attempted to regulate this, it was through the Supreme Court. The matter was highlighted that in the absence of a clear-cut policy, regulation by RBI also may not be proper. So that drove the attempt to have a group, and then the interministerial group worked into it, and then the policy came up, and policy was not issued out, but we are now bringing a bill and so on. So time has lapsed. In the meanwhile, it has also proliferated. At the same time, awareness issue or alert, if I can use the word, has been issued so that people are fairly cautioned that this may be a high-risk area to go in. That much has been done. Maybe more can be done on that area. I concede for Honourable Member Neeraj Shekhar's concern, but that's the point. So we are doing those little things, but then the bill is what is being keenly looked for.
Thank you, madam. Second supplementary, माननीय नीरज जी.
इसी से सभापति इसी से जुड़ा हुआ है दूसरा प्रश्न भी. अभी किसी ने शायद पहले ही बोला कि कहीं आप किसी वेबसाइट पे जाइए, इंटरनेट खोलिए, तो इसके एडवर्टाइजमेंट बहुत आ रहे हैं और हमारे नौजवान साथी उसमें पैसा लगा रहे हैं. तो क्या भारत सरकार ऐसा कर रही है, इन जो एडवर्टाइजमेंट आ रहे हैं इनको बंद करने का कोई उपाय हो सकता है? तब तक
बंद करने का उपाय अभी तक कुछ नहीं है, मगर जरूर कॉशन देने का, युवाओं को इस विषय में जो रिस्क है उस विषय में ध्यान दिलाने के लिए कदम उठा रहे हैं सरकार के द्वारा, सेबी के द्वारा, आरबीआई के द्वारा. जैसे मैंने कहा, इससे और अधिक मात्रा में वो कर सकते हैं, मगर अब हम इस कगार पर आ गए हैं कि हमारे बिल जल्दी आने वाला है.
धन्यवाद. माननीय सुजीत कुमार जी.
Thank you, sir. Sir, with the proliferation of crypto exchanges and the explosion of crypto transactions, it is inevitable that scams, frauds, and as Honorable Member Narendra Jadhav ji has observed, money laundering also is going to happen in a massive way. I suspect, sir, anti-national forces might also try to use these platforms to hurt the Indian economy and possibly destabilize the Indian economy. So is the government aware of any such move by anti-national forces, and if yes, what is it planning to do? Thank you.
Sir, the risk that this can lead to some kind of, illegal transfers to not so desirable activities are matters which are, in the regular course also being monitored by institutions, by enforcement authorities and so on. And the Ministry of Finance benefits from inputs from them. So I would only tell the member that these are matters which are definitely being discussed at various levels.
Thank you. माननीय सुशील कुमार मोदी जी.
माननीय उपसभापति महोदय, अभी मैडम ने एडवर्टीजमेंट्स के बारे में कहा. I want to ask madam, in the last 4 months, there are a flurry of misleading ad on TV, print media, and the social media, and they are promising heaven to the investors. And during this World Cup 2020, more than 50 crore was spent by the crypto exchange companies. तो मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि is there any plan to ban such advertisements? Because जो statements आए हैं RBI के, वो किसी ने पढ़ा नहीं, केवल अंग्रेजी के अखबार में statements आ गए. So are you going to insert some advertisements prominently in all the regional and Hindi and English newspapers? Number one. Number two, that because these ads are without any disclaimer. So are you going to, is Government of India thinking of banning such advertisements which are misleading और जिसके कारण लोगों का करोड़ों रुपया नुकसान हो सकता है? इसलिए मेरा स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन है कि इज गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया contemplating to ban such misleading advertisements till the bill comes to this house, because nobody knows this bill will come or not come. Last time also it was mentioned in the bulletin, but it could not come into the house. तो इसलिए बैन करने के बारे में मेरा आग्रह कि क्या सरकार विचार करेगी बैन करने के बारे में?
सुझाव।
Sir, two things. Last time also there was a bill mentioned and it didn't happen. I just want to remind honorable member, yes, last time there was a bill proposed. But subsequently, because there were other dimensions which in the real time we thought it was important to bring into the bill, that bill had been reworked. And in a way, the bill which is coming now is a new bill, but never mind, the work done on that have all been taken on board here. So intent was either we improve that bill or come with a bill which is going to be far more recent. So that intent of getting that bill at that time was there, a genuine intent. And now we are coming up with a new bill, so it's not as if the last time we just put it there, didn't want to come with one, so leading to a suspicion that this time also we are putting a bill, we may not come up with one. No, let me be clear on that the earlier attempt was definitely to come up with a bill which the House can consider. But later, because rapidly a lot of things had to come into play, we had started working on a new bill, and this is the bill which is now being proposed. And this bill is, once the cabinet clears it, it will come here into the House. That is one thing. And second, about the misleading advertisements and about are we banning them? I want to inform the honorable member who's been a finance minister earlier in Bihar. I've also been in very influential and guiding positions in the GST Council, whose advice all of us have benefited from. So I value his question. There are, with the Advertisement Standards Council of India, the ASCI, which governs all advertisements, their guidelines are being studied and the regulations that they have are all being looked into so that we can take, if necessary, some kind of a position or a decision to say how we are going to handle this. I can inform the honorable member that.
Thank you. Second supplementary.
Sir, my question number 2 was there, whether the government is seeking to make a separate legal framework for NFT. It has not been answered in this question, in this answer. So I would like, because I've asked that there should be a separate legal framework for NFT. It should not be a part of Cryptocurrency Act. So is government thinking of separate legal framework for NFT? And number 2, because you have answered in question number 4 in D, so I would like to know how many people have paid income tax on cryptocurrencies and how much tax has been collected. Can the minister tell the House how many people have paid income tax on cryptocurrency, income from the cryptocurrency, and how much tax has been collected?
Thank you.
So I don't have the ready information on how much tax has been collected on cryptocurrency or how much has been paid on it. And as regards NFT, the non-fungible ones, honorable member desires having a separate legal framework. At this moment, I may not be able to say whether I will give a separate framework or not. But certainly, as I said, all these matters are being discussed.
Thank you. Question number 20, Dr. V. Shivdasan, not present. Mani Mantri ji. No supplementary. Mani V. Yes, I ready.
Sir, the National Institute of Public Finance and Policy has recommended that the 4 key slab rate system of 5%, 12%, 18% and 28% can smoothly be replaced by three-tier slab system of 8, 15 and 30% without causing any loss of revenue to the exchequer. I would like to know from the Honorable Finance Minister what steps are being taken, whether such proposal is being accepted and whether it is advisable to accept such proposal, or what is that being contemplated?
Thank you.
Minister.
Very pertinent question as regards the GST rates. Although, of course, we're talking about compensation in this question, I take this opportunity to inform Member Vijay Sai Reddy that the GST Council probably a year and a half ago, cursorily, it didn't go into depths, talked about the need for rate rationalization related discussions. So 3 rates, 4 rates to 2, 4 rates to 1, all that cursorily was mentioned that at some point in time we need to talk about it, because at the point in time when the GST was brought in, sir, very many factors determined as to why we wanted to have these 4 rates, 4 slabs and so on. And the revenue neutrality principle also required that we had 4 rates. But time has probably come, or the House also felt, I mean the GST Council also felt that this has to be taken up some point in time. And the revenue neutrality has been upset in some ways. At the same time, if you're talking of one tax, one nation, are 4 slabs required? Should there be 1 rate? This has been a question which, because of, I would presume, the pandemic and also the second wave and also the issues of compensation, the requirement for borrowing, so several such factors have probably played in the minds of the council, and I'm not speaking for them, but I'm giving you a sense of what prevailed in the House, saying probably because we were attending to these things, the very required debate on rate rationalization has not even come up. That is where we are.
Thank you.